Have you ever walked into a supermarket to buy a carton of milk and walked out 40 minutes later with a cart full of items you never intended to buy? You probably blamed yourself. You blamed your lack of willpower, your hunger, or your poor planning. But the uncomfortable truth is that the moment you step foot inside a modern retail store or open a shopping app on your phone, you are entering a highly optimized psychological war zone. Every single element, from the lighting and the music to the physical layout and the pricing tags, has been meticulously engineered by teams of behavioral scientists. They have one single goal: to bypass your rational prefrontal cortex and trigger your primitive impulse to spend. Today, we are exposing the psychological weaponry that major companies use to hijack your brain and empty your wallet. The first weapon is a retail architecture phenomenon known as the Gruen effect, named after Victor Gruen, the pioneering architect who designed the world's first fully enclosed shopping mall. In 1956, this effect describes how a highly confusing, sensory-rich environment makes shoppers lose their sense of direction and time. Think about the last time you visited a grocery store. Why are the absolute essentials, like milk, eggs, and bread, always placed at the very back of the store? It is a deliberate trap. To get a $3 carton of milk, you are forced to walk through hundreds of feet of carefully curated aisles, exposing your brain to highly appealing visual displays of snacks, soda, and seasonal goods. By the time you reach the milk, your visual willpower has already been heavily degraded, making you incredibly susceptible to impulse purchases on your walk back to the registers. To make matters worse, supermarkets intentionally use massive shopping carts. Behavioral studies show that when consumers are given larger carts, they buy up to 40% more items. Your brain naturally hates empty spaces, and it subconsciously feels a compulsion to fill the void. The second psychological weapon is the decoy effect, a powerful form of choice manipulation. In behavioral economics, the decoy effect is the phenomenon where consumers will change their preference between two options when they are presented with a third, asymmetrically dominated option. The decoy. To understand this, look at a classic experiment conducted by behavioral economist Dan Ariely using subscription options for The Economist magazine. Originally, customers were offered two choices: a web-only subscription for $59 or a print-only subscription for $125. Naturally, most people chose the cheaper, $59 web option. But then, the company introduced a third choice, a print and web subscription, for that same $125. The print-only option was now a decoy. It made absolutely no sense for anyone to buy it, because for the exact same price, they could get both print and web. But when Ariely tested this three-choice setup on students, 84% of them chose the expensive $125 option. The decoy made the most expensive choice look like an incredible high-value steal. By introducing a useless third option, the company manipulated their customers into spending more than double the money. Next up is the ubiquitous psychological trick known as charm pricing and the left-digit effect. Why does almost every single price tag end in 99 cents? It seems silly. Your rational mind knows that $9.99 is basically $10. The difference is a single penny. But your brain does not process prices rationally, because we read from left to right. Our brains encode the leftmost digit first and most strongly. When you see $9.99, Your brain registers the 9 and immediately categorizes the price as being in the $9 range rather than the $10 range. This minor cognitive shortcut is incredibly powerful. Peer-reviewed research in marketing has consistently shown that changing a price from a round number to a charm number, like $3 to $2.99, can increase sales by up to 30%. This effect is even stronger when companies use urgency pricing, displaying original prices crossed out next to the sale price. Your brain experiences a hit of dopamine at the prospect of saving money, completely ignoring the fact that you are still spending money you never intended to. In the digital world, these tactics evolve into highly manipulative user interfaces known as dark patterns, coined by user experience researcher Harry Brignall in 2010. Dark patterns are websites and apps designed to trick you into taking actions that benefit the business rather than you. One common digital dark pattern is artificial scarcity. When you book a hotel online and a bright red text flashes, "Only 2 rooms left at this price," or 15 people are viewing this room right now, your brain experiences an immediate spike in cortisol. The fear of missing out triggers a panic response. Instead of calmly comparing prices and thinking rationally, your brain rushes you to make the purchase immediately to avoid losing the deal. Another classic dark pattern is confirm shaming. This is when a website offers you a discount, but the button to decline is written to make you feel guilty or foolish. For example, the button to accept says, "Yes, save 10%, while the button to decline says, "No thanks, I hate saving money." By wrapping your financial choices in emotional manipulation, companies bypass your logic and trick you into subscribing to email lists or buying products you do not actually need. The final weapon is sensory marketing, manipulating your 5 senses to alter your behavior. Have you ever wondered why retail stores play specific types of music? It is not to keep the employees entertained. Research has shown that slow-tempo, soft music in supermarkets causes shoppers to slow down their walking pace. The slower you walk, the more time you spend looking at items, and the more money you end up spending. Conversely, high-energy clothing stores play loud, fast-tempo music to create a high-arousal environment which encourages fast, impulsive decision-making. Smell is also heavily weaponized. The scent of freshly baked goods is often piped through vents near the entrance of grocery stores to stimulate your appetite, because hungry shoppers are statistically proven to buy more food. Even the lighting is calibrated. Jewelry stores use high-intensity halogen bulbs that produce a specific sparkle on diamonds, triggering a visual allure that makes the product look significantly more premium than it actually is. If the modern retail world is a psychological minefield, how do you protect your wallet? First, recognize the decoy. Whenever you see 3 pricing tiers, ask yourself, is the middle option just a decoy to make the most expensive one look better? If you only need the basic service, stick to the cheapest tier. Second, make a strict shopping list and stick to it religiously. When you enter a supermarket, you are on a mission. Walk straight to the items on your list, ignoring the end cap displays and the visual traps. Third, recognize that a sale is not saving you money. If a $100 jacket is on sale for $70 and you buy it, you did not save $30. You spent $70. Stop playing their game on their terms. Once you see the psychological tricks for what they are, you can finally disarm the manipulation, reclaim your cognitive control, and keep your hard-earned money where it actually belongs, in your pocket.